Morning. I'm out here early, and today we're going to talk about pre-scalping your lawn. It's something that you might want to try this year. It's something that we're doing on a couple of lawns, and it's sort of a half scalp before you do your full scalp, and this is about the time of year you might want to consider it. We're also going to go over a couple different subjects, including some spring fertilizer, and we're going to talk a little bit about the coronavirus in some upcoming videos, so hold on one sec. So, good morning. It's early. It's why am I all bundled up? Because it's about 34 degrees right now. And our lawns are still dormant. This is getting close to March 1st. Is it March 1st? I don't know if it is or not. Somewhere around there. But I wanted to go ahead and talk about pre-scalping your lawn and cover a couple different subjects based on where you are geographically and temperature-wise. So, before I do that, understand that if I'm going to talk about something, I'm going to put this video up on a web page along with links on that web page. People get confused. So I'll have a link to the Bermuda Lawn Guide. I'll have a link to everything. So there's one link in the description of this video that takes you over to our website, and everything is there. Also, don't forget to click the subscribe the subscribe button, because we've got 21 videos scheduled over the next probably 30 to 40 days, so hold on, it's going to get kind of busy. Everyone has their lawn at different heights. As an example, my backyard, let's see if I can show it to you. My backyard this year is really low. We left this all year long at about ½ an inch, so I really don't have to scalp this in the thought process of scalp. I just have to cut it down to the ground. The front yard, which I'll show you, the front yard was probably at about 1.5 inches or so, and I'm taking that down to 3/4 to 1 inch, half, not taking it down to the ground. I always take mine close down to the ground when I scalp. But one thing you can do to make your scalping, we're not going to scalp until we see really strong green coming up everywhere on our lawn, and our temperatures are consistently in that like daytime in the 60s. That's kind of where it is. So we still got a couple weeks. But one thing you can do is, especially, I usually hire a crew to come in and do it because it's so labor intensive. But one thing you can do yourself is you can start taking it down now. You can take it down little by little, little by little, little by little. I'll give you a warning though. And when you do this, remember, dead brown grass clippings add nothing to your soil environment. The green ones are good. You return your green clippings, you pick up your dead brown ones. The other problem is if you leave a lot of your dead brown clippings on, if you get heavy thunderstorms, you start to get these like tiger stripes, these piles of clippings all through your lawn. So you need to be aware of that. That's why we really like to pick up the dead brown clippings, just so you know. But I'm not picking them up during this half scalp. I'm going to see what happens out front. Now, I think what I'm going to do is, and what I'm doing during this process is I'm not using my really good equipment. So I've got 2 McLeans. I got a brand new one and the one from last year, and I'm saving those for my standard cutting. I'm using other equipment for this hard cutting process, cutting this dead brown grass in the huge amounts of it. I don't want to put that on my good mower. So try and use something else, whether it's a riding lawn mower or a push mower or something. I don't like to put, if you have a really nice mower, like a real mower, try not to put all the pressure on that when you get into this scalping mode, or pay someone to do it. Okay, real quick, if you are in a warmer climate right now and you're getting ready for your spring fertilizer, remember the only fertilizer we use during the year, and this is in the spring, and this is in the summer, and this is in the fall, the only fertilizer we use is PGF Complete. I'll take you out here in a minute. Yesterday I'm going to show you the PGF Complete. It's a professional grade fertilizer. It's a fertilizer that's been used by golf courses and the turf industry for several years. We actually had them reformulated a little bit for lawns and put in everything perfectly balanced. So it's a 4:1:2 ratio. A 4:1:2 ratio. Every single agronomist in the world is going to tell you the maintenance formula for a lawn is a 4:1:2. So it's 16:4:8, which is a 4:1:2 ratio, so times 4. It has iron in it, it has micronutrients, and it has Humic DG already inside of it. And the particle size, which is the most important thing to me, I think, the particle size is tiny, tiny, tiny particles. So you get lots of distribution. The particles per square inch is very important when you get into it. The other thing is it's a mild fertilizer. So when you put it down at the bag rate, you're putting about 0.5 pounds, 0.58 pounds per 1,000 square feet. So you can come out and you can put it down, and then in another 4 weeks, come out and put another down, another 4 weeks, and you can keep doing that light coat with it versus dumping a whole bunch of fertilizer down, and then your lawnmower moves it, and then you have thunderstorms and it gets washed away. So that's one of the thought processes here on this professional grade fertilizer. We come out and we put down lighter coats more often with it. That's enough on the spring fertilizer. By the way, 40-pound bags are available this year. The 40-pounders are up on Amazon. Everyone was asking for it. Well, they're up. Real quick, let's talk about Humichar. Humichar was supposed to be up about 2 weeks ago. We got a funny story for you. There's somewhere in the space zone somewhere, there's about 15 pallets of Humichar. It was shipped to Amazon, and Amazon received it on February 11th, and Amazon doesn't know where it is. So I talked to Anderson's. I was like, what the heck? How do you lose 15 pallets of Humichar? So we're just waiting to see when it pops up. I'm just letting you know that there's not a whole lot we can do right now that they can do on their end. Amazon won't even start tracking it until it doesn't show up for like 3 weeks. So hopefully it'll just pop up pretty soon. We're going to be putting in, it's no big deal, because we're going to be putting Humichar down almost every month, a light coat of Humichar every single month this year. And then we're going to be putting down this cheap organic matter that I'm going to show you in about 2 weeks. And our lawns are going to be absolutely gorgeous. What am I doing now? I am feathering my lawn, which means I'm not going to be scalping my lawn for several weeks, not until I see green everywhere all along here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to have all the lawns taken down a little bit. So if the lawn is at 2.5 or 3 inches, I'm going to start taking it down, taking it down, taking it down before the scalp. And I've learned that really helps on scalp day. Instead of leaving all this dead grass up there to be cut by someone on a scalp, it makes a lot more sense to actually take it down a little bit and a little bit and a little bit. So that's what I'm doing. So a lot of people ask, man, it's windy out here today. Is it too early to scalp? For me, it is. You don't want to scalp until your lawn is ready to grow. And my lawn's still dormant. It's still in the 30s at night, and it's just not that time. You want to scalp, you want to take off all that brown when your lawn is ready. So I'm constantly in the 60s. My soil temperature is up. I see green grass almost everywhere on my lawn. It's almost solid green starting to come up. And that's when I want to scalp. You're not going to hurt your lawn by waiting a little bit. It's no big deal. Let me just sort of recap. So my back, we left at 1/2 inch from the fall, so I don't really have to scalp it. My front, I took down a little bit. So it's all still dormant, but I took it down, you know, about half and cleaned it up. It actually looks kind of nice. Now Barb's lawn is still really long. Barb's is almost, you know, 2.5 inches long. The world's worst is 3 inches long, and I'm just not doing anything to those right now. Like I said, I would rather pay someone to come out here with a zero turn or some riding equipment and take that down. But if you leave all that brown clipping on there, when you start to have heavy rains and runoff, you are going to get that zebra pattern on there. You'll get that clumping, those lines of clippings, and they're a pain to deal with. Once you see your lawn's ready to grow, you're going to scalp it. You're going to put down PGF Complete. I'll probably start spraying some super juice at that time too, and hopefully by then we'll be putting out Humic as well too, and I'll do a video on the organic matter. But that's pretty much all we're going to do right now. And don't forget, the Bermuda Lawn Guide walks you through this whole program, this whole process, and there's a link to it in the description below. Let's talk real quick about the coronavirus. This was a long discussion I had of whether I should do a video on this, because we look at this differently than most people, and we're a month ahead of everybody else. We have a lot of discussion about this amongst our employees and our staff over at the business and the family. We're about a month ahead. So, you know, they held the big news conference 2 days ago. There was the national news conference talking about it. Before that, the stock market was crashing 1,000 points and 1,000 points. Well, that was about February 25th. And let me give you an example of what I mean about clear vision and stepping back. On January 25th, which is over a month ago, I'm the CEO of a business. I sat down with all my employees on a Monday, and I went over the coronavirus and how I felt it was going to impact the United States and what they needed to do to plan, not only as our business, but also personally for their families. That was a month before everyone else was talking about it. And what we did is we positioned ourselves and we started moving things around in our business and allocating assets. My investments, I shorted the market. I knew the market's going to crash and the market's going to continue to crash. And we're going to talk about what impacts it's going to have on behavior, the way that people act, the way that things that they do, the way that lifestyles are going to change over the next year. And it's not a conspiracy thing. It's not a hype. We look at it from a very realistic standpoint. So I hope you'll join us for that video. That's going to be really cool. Click the subscribe button, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.